Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today I'm going to take a quick look at the Sony ZV-E10 again. I love the little Sony ZV-E10. I've had it a long time. I've had a few of them. I've sold one of them, but I've always kept one. And it's a great little compact camera. Now there's many videos online about the ZV-E10. I just want to cover why I still use it and why I really enjoy using it. It has got one major drawback for photography. I say major, I've worked around it, but it has got one drawback for photography, and that is the fact there is no viewfinder. You're completely reliant on the screen on the back of the camera. Now I'm getting used to that now because I've had the Ricoh GR3, that's exactly the same, and if you're using a mobile phone, well, that's exactly the same as well. Although all said and done, a mobile phone has got a much brighter screen than what the ZV-E10 has. So that is one drawback in the sun, is being able to see the screen. But I've got around that as well. I've had a little workaround around that. Now, on the top, you've got your various settings. So there's not a great deal. You've got your hot shoe for your flash gun and microphone accessories. You've got your 3 capsule microphone on the top here. I try not to use that. The audio is fine from it, but I don't do a lot of vlogging. I tend to use wireless microphones like I've got on me now. I'm using the Full Aim X5 wireless microphone today. I've got many different wireless microphones. I particularly like Full Aim products, so I'm using the Full Aim X5 microphone. Now it's got the on-off switch on the top here, and that's nice, but the on-off switch is on the side of the camera where you hold the camera, so you can use this camera one-handed, and I think that is great. You haven't got, like it has on the Canon RP, well, it's a bigger camera, the on-off switch is on the left-hand side, so you have to use 2 hands to be able to turn the camera on and off. This, grab it out your bag, or even a pocket, well, it'd have to be a big pocket, but grab it out your bag and you're ready to go. The grip is okay. I've got big hands and I find the grip fine. The only thing that does annoy me, and I've said in various other videos, is this switch here, zoom switch. I do knock that occasionally and you get that error message saying that the zoom won't work in JPEG stroke RAW mode. It's actually not a zoom lens. It uses clear image zoom to create the zoom. So it's a 1.5 times crop into the image. I would prefer to crop into the image when I edit the photographs rather than do it when I take the photograph. So I don't use that function whatsoever. That would be fine for lenses that have power zoom in the lens, and there is several Sony lenses that have got power zoom, and you can use that lever then for zooming the lens in and out. This is a fixed lens, it's a pancake lens. It's Sony's 20mm aps-c pancake lens, so it's quite a nice lens actually. It's not the sharpest kid on the block, but great as a travel lens. Again, I'm using it like you would a Ricoh GR3 as just a travel camera, and it works great as a travel camera. So yeah, very happy with that, and it's nice and compact. On the top, as I say, you've got your record button, you've got your switch which switches between photo mode, video and slow and quick motion on the top there, and then you basically got one function button. So it is lacking function buttons, but that's fine because it's a compact camera. Now, how I've got around the fact that the screen isn't very bright is I've pre-programmed one of the function buttons on the back to account for that. So I can actually push the button and then I can make the screen brighter. Now, let's get it into photo mode. I'll show you what I mean. That's video. So if you see on the back of the screen here, you can cycle through the different modes by just pushing this button, and then you can go through the different modes, whether it be photo, S&Q, or video. That's on video now. Let's go to photo. Now we're in photo mode. I've got it in shutter priority, and if I find the screen isn't bright enough, I've pre-assigned the trash can button to be able to make the screen brighter. At the moment it's set to +2, which is what I would use outdoors in sunny weather. Normally you'd have it in on 0. So let's go to, it's actually got a sunny weather mode in here. So you can actually just turn it straight to sunny weather mode, and that makes it even brighter. So, you know, there are ways around it. I would leave it probably on 0 indoors and most of the time, because it reduces the battery as well if you have it on sunny weather mode. But that is one way of getting around the fact that it hasn't got a viewfinder. Just increase the brightness, you know, of the monitor. Yeah, it's got the 3-inch articulating screen. For photography, to be honest, I like the screen that just tilts up and down. But what I have found incredibly useful with this 3-inch articulating screen, if I'm photographing the cats, and you'll find when I show you some photographs, I've got some photographs of the cats, obviously because they're way down to the ground. I don't want to be photographing them like that. I like to photograph them at their level. So rather than me get on my hands and knees, I can just do that. And I can see the screen. I don't know if you can see that there. I can see the screen by doing that. So I find that great, doing that. And the grip is nice to hold. And that works really well for me doing it that way. So, you know, it has a lot of advantages having the 3-inch articulating screen. So, yeah, very quick and easy to switch between photo and video mode. Again, I've pre-assigned this button on the top here, but I've reassigned that button now, because you can reassign all these function buttons, and I think that is awesome. I've reassigned that to be able to set what shooting mode I'm in. So that's really quick and easy now to go into, you know, whether you want photo or video, and then you can select your aperture priority, shutter priority just by one touch of a button, because there isn't a PASM dial on this camera. All traditional cameras have a PASM dial on the top where you can select photo, you know, shutter priority, aperture priority, manual, whatever. This camera hasn't got it, predominantly because of its compact size. So what I've done, I've pre-assigned this function button to be able to do that, and I think that makes it much easier for me to work with by doing it that way. And I've also reassigned some of the other function buttons. It's got manual audio control when you're shooting video, and I think that is great. 4K video, and it's oversampled. So it's oversampled from a 6K image down to 4K. So you get a really, really nice sharp image. And I think that is, you know, great, certainly for a camera of this size. No video record limit. That is great for me here in the studio, because I do make fluffs. So being able to just keep on waffling without having to keep stopping and starting the camera, I think that is great. And I've got that on my Panasonic GH6, which is getting a wide shot. I've got that on my Canon R7, which is getting a close-up shot. That's got a 35mm full frame lens on the R7. And I've got my A6600 over here, getting a sort of a generic wide shot. It looks like it's a bit overexposed, but that's fair dues. I can adjust that. Really nice and compact. It's brilliantly compact as a little travel camera. Really like it. And one of the other features that I really like about the ZV-E10, and I use a lot, is its multi-interface shoe. Its hot shoe on the top isn't just for flash guns, it's actually for audio devices. And I've got two in particular that I use regularly. I've got the little Bluetooth microphone, wireless microphone, that just slots, the receiver just slots straight into the hot shoe. There is no cables on that just slots in there. And then I've got the Bluetooth, Sony Bluetooth transmitter, which I put on me. And so if I'm going out, I take that with me. If I do need to record any video, I don't have to worry about plugging cables into it. And that is awesome. One of my favourite features, that really is awesome. Or if I'm working with it here in the studio, or maybe even for vlogging, I've got the gun mic, the Sony gun mic. Again, no cables. This takes its power from the camera, so that just slots straight into the camera. Great feature, something that I use, you know, on a regular basis. So, you know, yeah, there you go. It takes the FW50 batteries. They're not the best, but they're so cheap to buy. I've got some third-party batteries here. They're absolutely fine. No problem with that at all. But the battery is in the same compartment as the SD card. I do find it awkward getting the SD card out. I never liked this sort of design. Never have done, but you know, it is what it is. And it's a compact camera, so the battery will go in the same compartment as what the SD card does. Just make sure you've got a few spare batteries with you when you go out. Just make sure that you don't run out. But other than that, it's great. It hasn't got image stabilization in the camera for stills, so just make sure you set a slightly faster shutter speed. but it has got electronic image stabilization for video. That helps. Or you can use Catalyst Browse, which is a free bit of software from Sony, and that enables you to stabilize the footage post filming, after you've filmed it. But it is another process you have to go through to be able to stabilize the footage afterwards, because this camera does record the gyro information to be able to do that. And yeah, I'm not sure what else I can say about it. I'm going to go through some of the photographs. Now, I've taken a lot of photographs with this camera. Oh yeah, on the side, what I do like also is the flaps on the side. I think are great. So better than most other cameras. Proper plastic flap, and that opens, that's firm. It's got your USB-C port, which is great because it's got power delivery. Again, here in the studio it's fantastic. I can leave it running. I don't have to worry about the battery running out because I use power delivery into it like I do on my little Sony ZV-1. That gets the close-up shots, but that's using power delivery from a power block. The battery isn't going to run out on me while I'm doing the filming. It's got a headphone jack and a mic jack, which is incredible for a camera of this size. And you've got mic jack at the top, and you've got your headphone jack at the bottom. So if you did want to use external microphones, you can, and you can monitor the sound as well. And it's got the micro HDMI port. Now, all of this I've covered before in other videos, but you know, I'm just covering it again. But yeah, regular camera that I use, I keep it in my kit bag because it's so compact, certainly with the 20mm lens on. The other lens I love to use with it is the 11mm f1.8 lens. It's an aps-c lens. That really does give a lovely wide angle image, and I love that lens. Really sharp, pin sharp. It's a better lens than the 20mm lens as far as image quality, but it's more expensive and it's quite a bit bulkier. So I tend to sacrifice image quality just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit, by keeping this lens on it all the time. But because it's got an aps-c sensor, you're not sacrificing a huge amount of image quality. I find it still fine. So yeah, that's the ZV-E10. As far as image quality, I'm not going to go into any detail as far as image quality because I really don't think I need to. But if you do want to look at these images closer, they will be on my SmugMug page. SmugMug, I can't even say it, SmugMug page. And I will leave a link to that in the description of this video if you want to take a look at them there. You can also look at the EXIF information to see what lenses was used for any particular image. So I'll leave that link in the description below. I'll also leave links in the description to where you can download trial versions of this software I'm using, which is ON1 Photo Raw, and you can also download SmugMug trial version. No credit cards are needed. Play with the trial version, and if you do decide you want to buy either of them, then there will be links in the description where you can get discounts. ON1 Photo Raw you get 20% off, and SmugMug you can get 15% off if you follow my links. So here's a picture of little Sammy. This was taken on the Tamron, the full frame Tamron 28-75, and it's lovely and sharp, absolutely gorgeous. Obviously the sharpness will depend on what lenses you're using. That one just happened to be a full frame lens I used on the ZV-E10, and other lenses won't be quite so sharp. As I say, the 20mm lens isn't quite so sharp, but it's still, you know, a lovely lens. But yeah, the detail, the clarity, the sensor's really good. You can crop into these images as well with the sensor on the Sony ZV-E10. It is an old sensor, but you know, does the job fine. Does the job absolutely fine. And I just like the way that it renders the colours. Let's have see what else we've got here. Let's see what else we've got. If we look at these, now that's with the 10-18 lens. So you can see there's a bit of distortion because it's a 10mm lens, but still, you know, looking really good, looking really, really nice. So you can see I've replaced the cloud on that one. ON1 Photo Raw, as with many other software, does have, you know, AI built into it. So you can do all sorts of things. You can do cloud replacement and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's well worth downloading the trial version. It doesn't cost you anything. Have a play with it, see what you think. But yeah, images from the ZV-E10 you're not going to be disappointed with. You need to get used to the fact there is no viewfinder. But I think most of us now are used to taking photographs with cameras that don't have a viewfinder. So I'm beginning to get used to that, and I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest. It's nice not being tied to the camera, really, if that makes sense. Yeah, great little camera. I really like it. I can highly recommend it to anyone, really, and it's such great value for money. For the features that it has, it's fantastic value for money, to be honest. Its autofocus is phenomenal. Yeah, it's just, as I say, the fact that it hasn't got a viewfinder, that's the only thing that does let it down. But then it would be a bigger camera and a more expensive camera if it did have a viewfinder. So for me to be able to shove that in my pocket, well, not my pocket, it won't fit my pocket, little pouch, camera bag or whatever, I think is great. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of these videos. I would really, really appreciate that. And please share it, you know, if you really do like it. Stay tuned for more videos relating to video photography, podcasting, so on and so forth. Cheers for now. Bye.